So this is an update video for the Jukebox project. It's pretty much a done deal. I'm just tying up some loose ends and finishing up some tiny little projects on it for detail. I'm getting ready to start puttying it, all the imperfections in the cabinet like you can see here. I'm going to putty that and sand it down and get ready for paint. I got a friend of mine who's an artist who's going to come in and do like a flash tattoo kind of theme on it. It's going to be loud and obnoxious like most of the cabinet, so brilliantly obnoxious. And you can see the controls over here. For example, I'll put like a heart there, like an actual heart with arteries coming out of it type thing. It's the heart of the controls, the heart of the control center, heart of the jukebox, I guess. So just fun stuff like that. Some music notes coming off the speaker. It's just going to be wild and bright and flashy. On this side of the cabinet, on the right side, I want to do black chalkboard paint, top to bottom on the cabinet. And that way my friends can graffiti the thing up. And if they don't find something in the jukebox they want to listen to, they can just write it down there as a request. And next time they come over for the next shaker or what have you, get together, they'll have the requested media in here. You can see I put these new fans on here for exhaust. That's one thing you got to consider if you're going to do a project like this. You need to get rid of the, you need to expel all the heat in this thing. And this thing gets hot. There's a lot of electronics in this thing, and it gets pretty warm. In fact, I got some temperature sensors in there that go to my media controller. I'll show you that in a sec. But these right here, I just put two 80 mil RGB fans I got off eBay. They're getting a little bit different, a little bit brighter than the last fans I had in there. And I put these alien plates on there, or guards, just kind of scalped them off an old PC I had. And I got a big 140 mil fan in the base of this thing that brings in cool air from the skirt from underneath the machine. And then you got your two, your left and right 80 mil fans that expel the heat, obviously in the upper portion of the cabinet as heat rises, of course. So also what I did is I put in this multimedia control media dashboard. You've got two fan controls here that you can slow down the RPM of your fan, which obviously makes it a lot more quiet. So if you're having like a romantical moment, some wine and you're having some cheese, then you can dial down your fans so you're not going to hear them as much. For the most part, though, you're just going to be having a rocking good time. So you let those things blast at 2,500 RPM. And I got a plug in here for microphone, headphones. Got 4 USB ports, and so you can plug in your media. Update your media in this thing. Throw some more MP3s in there, or music videos, or what have you. eSATA. You got your stuff for your different memory cards. I've also got this little handheld keyboard remote control. It's pretty handy. You got your mouses right here, and you got a full QWERTY keyboard. So that you can use that for your jukebox, especially for the karaoke side. If you want to do if you want to do a search for music, you can just use that. It's pretty handy rather than using the LO touchscreen. Right now, I can see I got it set up. I was just in Siglos messing around with Siglos. It's karaoke software, but for the most part, what's running this thing, and this is also something I also added, was I added this little media or a little dashboard that you can kind of get a quick shortcut to stuff. So I've got TouchJams over here. I got Siglos, which is kind of like a DJ, like when you go into a bar. It's kind of legit karaoke software for a bar. It's pretty intricate stuff. It goes pretty deep. XBMC, you can just stream some TV and movies. And I've got Firefox, which is my preferred web browser. And of course, you got a start button. So it's all pretty convenient. And you just kind of drag your finger down, and that pulls up the dashboard. And let's go into TouchJams. This is the heart of my machine, really. This is what runs the whole jukebox. And this software is pretty awesome. I'm super impressed with this software. And also the guy that develops it, this fella Bob. In fact, I just talked to him probably 3 weeks back and told him that I had this Betabrite sign. And you can see there, it's saying, that the TouchJams was booting up, and you can see that it's showing what song is in the queue right now. So this has just come to in the last couple, 2-3 weeks. I messaged Bob and said, hey, I got this Betabrite sign. I know there's some other software out there like for my arcade machine. I've got Hyperspin, and it communicates to these Betabrite signs, tells you what game you're playing, gives you a couple nerdy details on it. And I told him I wanted to wake this thing up for the jukebox, and just kind of threw it out there saying, hey, this would be a good idea, is to have some Betabrite capabilities. And this fella got back to me within a couple days, and he says, hey, I'll look into it and I'll see what I can do. Not within a week. Within a week, he was telling me it was pretty much a done deal. He laced all these capabilities into the software, and yeah, I'm just super impressed with this fella and what he's doing with this software. It's constantly changing and getting upgraded, and a couple other things he did for me as well. If you go into option over here, options, and once you select options, it brings up your admin screen, and it's kind of hard to see here. I'm not too good with my camera, but you can see that you got different options like library, appearance, view settings, etc. When you go into system now, you can see this Betabrite symbol, and we can go in there, and you've got all these different options for different things, like what you want it to say at startup, what's going to be playing now, playing next, and you can choose which colors for your LEDs that you want them to light up in for what you're doing. It's just brilliant stuff. I'm really impressed with it, and my sign's alive now. It's before it was just sitting up there, and it's kind of a fancy dancy sign that really didn't incorporate into the jukebox all that well. You can see up here I've got this fluorescent vinyl in there right now. It's like a Smirnoff vodka bottle. This was like a bar sign before, and I can pull out that plexi and put whatever I want in there. So eventually I'm gonna put something fancy in there, just as kind of a marquee for the box. If anybody has any suggestions for a cool name for the box, I can put it up there. So yeah, if anybody has any suggestions, that'd be awesome. But I figure within the next week or two, I'll pull that vinyl down and take a measurement and get an image put together and bring it in and have somebody do something for me. I just slap some goofy stickers up there, with a little wordplay on jukebox, because I'm a little silly. So label my machine silly. So right up here you can see it gives you an idea what's playing next and playing now. And on the bottom screen is your touch screen where you've got all your controls for TouchJams. So pretty easy. You go up to artist, it gives you a full list of all the artists, and you can go from alphabetical order. That's just a number sign, and then you've got all your A's through your list, and you can go over here and you can tab to another screen, and then it just gives you more stuff. So right now we're listening to a song in the jukebox, and it's got like a DJ software in there too. You can just walk away from this thing, and if you're not choosing stuff to put in the queue, it'll kind of pull something out of the box and throw it at you. So it's pretty brilliant stuff. We're gonna go up to a video here, and I'll play a video. Also, another thing that Bob had done for me with TouchJams is I requested the audio was a little bit off. The sync was a bit off for my music videos. So Bob had added this video setting right here, where you can do a delay on your audio. You can do an audio delay. Right now I've got it set at 0, but I've monkeyed around with it, did -200, +200, just to see and get my audio sync dialed in, But we go up to videos up here. You got Jukebox, you got karaoke. I really lucked out on my karaoke side too. Met this fella through the local buy and swap, and he's a local DJ in Winnipeg, and he hooked me up with 50,000 karaoke songs. So I'm loaded with the karaoke side. Having a little bit of issues with my microphones. They're wireless, and there's so many bloody wireless things in this machine that the signal is just awful. If you have the microphone attached, like basically touching the base or the antenna of the wireless base, that's the only time you really get any signal at all. But so that's the karaoke side anyways. I'm going to probably go with wired microphones. I got to find those. Internet radio, pretty brilliant stuff. If you're not wanting to pick around in the machine and pick music, you just come over here, and it's like radio but without commercials, which is pretty brilliant. No, actually, sorry, you do have commercials. It's typical radio but just over the internet. So also videos. So what we'll do is we'll play a video here. We'll play some Metallica. So you select your video, hit play now. You can hit play next or play. So we're going to hit play now, and it's going to jump right up to our music video. So right there you can pick up what you want next in queue, and then up here you've got your video in the upper screen, which is pretty awesome. Smoke machine. Yeah, I can show you how that works. It's on a remote control system. If you're going to put a smoke machine in one of these jukeboxes, you have to keep in mind and appreciate that they get really friggin' hot. I've got mine on a plug-in system that's on a remote control, so you can turn the entire plug off and on, and it's pretty handy because you don't want to run your fog machine a lot. You know, I turn it on at a party, and you know, I'll remember to turn it off because it gets really hot. It's basically like an iron in there. But you can see I've also put a green LED light in above my controls. That lets me know when the fog machine is up to temperature to burn fog, to make fog. So right now we're set up. And you can see my light organ's rocking. They basically beat to highs, lows, and mediums. And you can see my center channel is blown, which happens. So there's the fog. I got that on a remote. All I got to do is hit this green button here, and it'll automatically fog for, I don't know, probably about 15-20 seconds or something like that. I'm just kind of throwing a number out there. But also one thing you have to appreciate too is that these fog machines, they leave like almost like a dish liquidy kind of grease, a film behind. You know, some of them even drip. I just kind of go in there with a paper towel. I put like 1.5 or 2-inch ABS. I think it's 1.5 ABS pipe I put off the fog machine to the base of the cabinet, and it gets kind of greasy and filmy in there, and I just kind of throw a paper towel in there, kind of sop it up every once in a while. So you can see it's still shooting. It might even be like 45 seconds really, but you can see it's getting pretty smoky in here, and don't mind the mess here. I had a big shaker last night, so this is remnants of it, but I'll turn the light off, and yeah, it gets pretty foggy. That's just off one shot. And it looks pretty cool with the lasers. The laser effect is really neat with the fog going, the lasers going through the fog. It actually lights up the, you know, the actual laser. You know, it's pretty neat. But yeah, that's the fog machine in a nutshell. I have to rest it for about 10 seconds. So you can see my green light's out right now. And it's got to recover and, you know, reheat. And then you can shoot your fog over and over and over again. It's amazing actually how long your fog will last in these machines. I filled the thing up once around Halloween, been monkeying around with this thing off and on, and I think I've probably burned that fog machine at least 6 times, and there's still a ton of fog in there, a ton of fog juice. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. That's where I'm at. I got to get my center channel repaired, and bringing in my friend to paint the thing next week, and pretty much done. And again, this Betabrite capabilities is just fantastic. Bob's even put a bunch of stuff in there where it'll tell you like what your favorite music is that people are playing in the jukebox, your top 10, and it kind of, you know, reads a bunch of stuff in your machine and feeds it to the signs. So it's pretty awesome. I'm pretty stoked about that. And I added this little color cube that's sound activated in the side. Yeah, it's kind of goofy, but I had bought a ton of stuff for this project, not knowing what I was going to incorporate in the jukebox, and I just grabbed a ton of different, you know, unique lighting, and this was one of the things I picked up. And it's pretty cool. It's got a really nice warm kind of light to it, that it gives off, and again, it is sound activated, so it responds to the music. And that's it for now. Maybe one other update after it gets painted, and yeah, and then it's just going to be a rock star over and over again.